you ever see this movie called Call Me by Your Name?
I have heard many, many good things about it from some of the people that I follow and trust.
If I butcher this kid's name, I'm sorry. Timothée Chalamet, I believe. Anyway, he was nominated for a Best Actor Oscar for that movie, Call Me by Your Name. He was also in Interstellar and Lady Bird, which I saw those two, and he had very small parts in, especially in Interstellar. Basically, had 3 lines, but this kid is in talks to play one of my favorite characters ever in fiction, and that's Paul Atreides from Frank Herbert's Dune. And everybody here knows I'm a huge I'm going to butcher his name too. Speaking of butchering names, Denis Villeneuve, Denis Villeneuve, whatever his name is, he's making Dune, my favorite book ever. So it's always just kind of been like, yeah, I'm making it. And it's just like, okay, well, are we going to hear anything? Well, this kid's apparently in final talks to play the lead role of Paul Atreides, which I'm actually, just going off of appearance, I'm actually very happy about, because in the book, Paul starts off at 15 years old. I love Paul McLaughlin as much as anybody, but he was too old to be Paul in the original movie. So people need to get that out of their head. Everybody's like, he's too young. Look, Paul's 15 in that book when it starts. And this kid is 22, but he looks young, which if this is a hit, God willing, and they make several movies, will help with the aging process of Paul. So I'm actually very, very optimistic about it. And I think it's like this. If Villeneuve, I can't say his name, Denny V thinks that this kid has got the chops to do this, and he's went on record numerous times saying that this is his dream project, he's not going to just be like, yeah, he'll do it. He's probably went through a rigorous casting process for this, and this kid apparently is very much on the rise. So there you've got the young actor on the rise. You got the should have been Oscar award-winning director, and and my favorite book ever. So yeah, take my money. Now I want to hear some more casting, because apparently there's a February shoot is the target for this movie, which means all the casting stuff's going to be coming out real soon. And I'm sorry, Danny, I know I talk about Dune so much, but you just know that you will read that book and it will change your life, man.
I don't know much about Dune. What I do know about Timothée Chalamet, I think is what we're going to go with.
My Charlemagne.
He's an incredibly talented actor. To be in some of the movies working with some of the directors that he has worked with speaks highly of him. But he is the 3rd youngest actor ever to be nominated for an Academy Award, and the youngest actor ever since 1939. So that's pretty much in the history, like, take out those early years of film, pretty much the youngest actor to ever be nominated for a leading actor Academy Award, which is insane to me. If you're doing bar trivia, that would be Mickey Rooney, 1939. He was 19 years old. So that's impressive. Like, that literally is, especially given Academy, how Hollywood votes on these things. They don't really like to welcome newcomers, and like, you have to pay, quote unquote, pay your dues. And
ask Leonardo about paying his dues.
Yeah. For a 22-year-old kid to be nominated, and what it was like he's only been working 5-6 years. Yeah. So you should be excited about that, and you should really be happy about it. By the way, the directors that I forgot to mention, like, he's worked with Greta Gerwig. He's worked with Luca Gudagnino. I'm going to butcher that. Christopher Nolan, who we both love and adore. Like, he's worked with some of the best of the best. And again, if you can get him for this movie, you really do speak volumes to what it could be. And I know that makes you excited.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping it's hey, read this book and tell me if you like it, and then we'll talk, kind of thing. I mean, basically, I'm just hoping that everybody that's involved in this loves this book as much as Denny does, because, yeah, there's been so many attempts and failed versions of this story made that never really just capture what it really is and how special it is to such a large group of people. Best-selling science fiction novel ever. So, I mean, the fact that we haven't gotten a just great adaptation of this, and I still think long-form HBO cable or something like that is the best idea, but it's just too expensive. You can't do it on TV, and you can't do it in a 2-hour movie. So, I mean, apparently he wants to split this up into 2 movies, which we know is a can of worms that sometimes you shouldn't open, but it's either that or make a 4.5-hour movie that I don't think anyone's going to sit through besides me, So I don't know. I'll be interested. Obviously, I'm going to follow this like crazy. I hope they're doing like a one of those documentaries while he's making this, because I will eat that shit up. Because if anybody's, a lot of people always talk about the Jodorowsky's Dune that never got made, the documentary about him making Dune never got made, but everyone's like, oh God, I wish that movie got made. And I'm like, I'm not listening to it, man. All he talks about how it's like, it's nothing like the book. I'm doing my own thing. The book is the greatest selling science fiction book of all time for a reason, because the story and the characters are incredible. So I'm glad that this guy is saying it's not a remake. I am adapting the book. David Lynch did not adapt the book. I'm adapting the book. So I like that he's saying that. I know how much he loves this. So I feel like it's in good hands. I'm hoping Legendary takes the gamble, man, and really sinks some money into this, because it could be bigger than Star Wars, because Star Wars ripped it all off. I'm just putting it out there.